So as you know, I'm a medical student, and all I do is study. But sometimes I need a break, and so during my Step 1 dedicated study, I hit that point and decided to do a project.
And as everybody knows, Derek is the man and is always doing awesome stuff with his kids. So he told me about one idea he had, and I decided to do it.
So I'm gonna go home and build the treasure chest for the kids. We never built a treasure chest, but I'll bet we can figure it out.
So on my way home, I went to Lowe's and spent $10 on the cheapest boards I could find, since the budget matters.
You gonna be my helper, buddy? Yeah. Which of these do you want to use?
And then I recruited some unwitting helpers. They didn't know what they were helping with, but they were willing.
Hey bud, your job is to smash up those boards. Yeah. Yeah, kind of crazy.
All right. I've got a well thought out plan here.
Kinda.
Okay, so I just got my trusty triangle, made a clean line along here, and then measured 1.5 inches in from this line. This is gonna be my angle, and then I'm going to cut it.
Can I have those glasses?
You want my glasses?
Yeah, thank you.
And what I'm thinking is I just take this little board here that I cut, and then I'm just gonna put it right along there, and we're gonna trim things up. We'll see how it goes. Okay, so I hope this is making sense. I just laid this piece on top and used it as a template, and then drew a line, use this as a guide, drew a line. Now I'm gonna nail this here, and then I'm gonna go cut this piece too, and then I'll have my front and my back. Okay, so I just nailed this one in place. Now I'm gonna get the saw, cut right along there, and I should have 2 matching pieces if I've done it right.
It didn't take the kids long to figure out I was building something for them.
Daddy's building a surprise for us! Hey, Daddy, just tickled me, Hankley! Get after him! Tickle him! No!
Okay, so I measured out 6 inches. It seems a little short, so I think I'm gonna jump to 8 inches. So the 8 inches by 12. I'm just gonna trace that line up, and then this will be a side, and then I'll template that and do the same thing twice. So now we got our 4 pieces, our 2 sets. So this is front, back, side, side. All right, there we have it. 4 sides to a treasure chest. All right, so I'm at an impasse. I have my treasure chest. What I haven't decided yet is whether to do the classic tombstone lid, or if I should do the cartoony lid that curves in and goes up like that. I don't know. Let's poll the audience. Hey Biggs,
What?
did you say classic or cartoony?
Cartoony.
Joanna, classic or cartoony?
Cartoony.
Cartoony. So the width of the base of the side of the lid is 9 5/8 inches. All right, I had a good idea. I'm gonna use this as the template for the curve. So I'm still working with the remainder of that last board, and I just measured from this edge to 9 5/8. And then what I'm thinking is I'll put this, doesn't matter how high I want it, probably about there. All right, so I just traced our paper plate on there, so now I just need to figure out how to draw this. All right, I just got it. My geometry teacher would be so proud of me. I think I'm just gonna slide this over and then try and use the plate to connect these 2 lines. So I'll do it. Now the kids had all kinds of funny guesses as to what I was building. What do you think I'm building, you?
A toilet.
Is it a toilet?
No! You're building me a house.
A house?
A playhouse. I knew it!
Will it be a toilet or a playhouse?
So, as usual, I ended up staying up late a fair amount of days to try and get it done.
Okay, so I've lined my scrap up here. I'm just gonna line that up and then trace it real quick. Okay, so now we've got our 2 side pieces. I think they pretty well line up. Okay, so that's our first cut of lid board, and it goes from edge to edge. That's about where we want it, and it's just gonna lean in. Okay, and I really don't know how to do this, so I'm just gonna wing it. I'm just gonna start putting it together as we go and hope that it works. You know when Christ teaches that parable about the foolish man who wanted to build a tower but didn't take account of all of the cost, and so then he built the tower and all of his friends made fun of him because he didn't have enough money to finish the tower? I'm that man. I did the whole thing except for the floor and that piece. I do have this piece of scrap left over. I will cut this and then fill the gap, and it'll be missing a little piece, and that's okay. All right, now we're on to the bottom. I'm out of wood with the exception of that one piece, but I have this old scrap that I've been saving from previous projects, and I'm gonna use this for the bottom. It is a treasure chest.
You remember when I had Hinckley scar up the outside? Well, I accidentally built it inside out, so I needed to now mar the outside. And we were trying to save money by building handles rather than buying them, so this is what we came up with building handles.
Are you coming over here?
And as with everything I ever build, I like a good dark stain and a good time lapse. It's just kind of satisfying. Because it's been a bit of a hodgepodge project, I had huge gaps, and I just decided I'd try and fill them in with some glue, just the big ones to kind of add strength. The kids are still helping me because they still think it's either a toilet or a playhouse, which is really nice that they get to participate. So this end piece that I improv'd in place was pretty weak, and it would pop off if it got any tension on it. So I just found like an old curtain support, and I'm going to try and build a little bracket that I can put right there to add some extra support for this piece. There's a little bracket. So there we have it. And I've got some reinforcements here.
I just used old cupboard hinges that I had on hand.
So the good news is the hinges are on and they work. The bad news is that I built such a big lid that when it's open, it falls over back when it's empty. But in my handy dandy trinket box, I have some straps. So I'm gonna try something with this and see if this will do it.
As for hardware, I went to Hobby Lobby and I spent about $15 on the little latch and the lock. They were both on sale because they're wall decor. I had to modify the latch and kind of customize it a little bit. It turned out really nice.
As far as what to put in it and how to decorate the outside, I really wanted to buy some nice coins. I thought about dressing the edges up with metal. But the metal was pretty expensive. I may have just figured out how to stay within budget.
Look at this curbside beauty.
Alright, so here are those flaps. They need to be washed.
And this part was a blast. I've never done much with leather. I'm not a leather worker. And it took a little bit of experimentation, but I cut enough of the couch flaps that I had plenty to mess around with. I ended up using these little tacks to hold them in place before I went back and placed the decorative tacks that I decided to use. And these cutesy little decorative tacks I just picked up off Amazon. It was like $10 for the set of them. I thought they looked the part and would really add a nice touch to the treasure chest, so I ended up putting those on as kind of a final touch. But I had so much fun with the project that I didn't want to be done at this point, and I hadn't yet taken my step exam, so I still needed some kind of a little reprieve, so I decided I would build secret compartments into the treasure chest. One to hold, you know, some kind of secret treasure, and then the other one to hold an air tag, because I figured if once I hide this in the woods, wherever I end up hiding it, I don't want somebody else to find it and walk off, and for me not to be able to get my my treasure chest back. So this is the secret compartment for the coins, and then this one is for the air tag to track it.
This is the Chamber of Secrets.
And at this point it's painfully obvious that it's a treasure chest, so I've been having to hide it under a sheet in the garage. But Hinckley couldn't figure out what these parts were, so I had him help me with those. So you can see I just recessed that air tag in there. I just used a bit the right size and then kind of dropped it in there with a single screw in the back to look like a normal support. Then I picked some little coins up off the internet for like $2, and then I basically found table scatter for events, diamonds, rubies, pearls, and that's it.
We're ready for a treasure hunt.